Hey guys, it's Phil. This is a follow-up. This is the video that comes right after the how to fix this super user issue with flashing CF Autoroute and trying to install a super user client on the phone. Many people had issues with the installation of it. People had issues with the super SU binary not being installed and super user being unable to install it, among various other reasons. That was fixed in the last video, which will be linked up here, right along here. So this video right now, especially in that description right there, go download your phone's files. I've got Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile recovery files, and you want to download the files regardless of whether you've followed my tutorials before or not. Because in these, let's open mine up for instance and zoom in. Shuffling. And let's go up a little bit. Okay. So as you can see, slightly, there's in this file, once you unzip it, it will be, it's recovery tools, and then either VZW, SPR, ATT, or TMO for Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile versions of the S3. So what I've included in this one is the Nandroid Manager v2.4.1 APK, so you can install that once you put the recovery tools that's appropriate for your device on your phone's SD card, internal or external, it doesn't matter, as well as a folder containing ClockworkMod Touch Recovery, the latest one, Philz Recovery for both flashing through Odin and Nandroid Manager, as well as TeamWin Recovery Project if you don't have it installed, or if once you go to another one you want to go back to it, because in the last video, the one that I linked up there, we installed TWRP to flash and update to super user. And then there's also just the recovery image file, which makes it easy to flash through Nandroid. So enough with that. Let's zoom out. So let's catch up where we were last time. Last time I checked in with you guys, we had super user access we have root access on a device. And then, so what we're going to do is, with this, we're going to plug in our phones and then move the files to the phone storage. So, as you might be able to see scrolling through, let's drag the recovery toolkit into the root of storage. And it's moving. Okay, there we go. And then, so it's right here. So close that. You can unplug the phone now. Now it's all on your device. It's all on here. You don't need the computer for anything. You can use it if you feel comfortable using Odin instead of Nandroid Manager. Sorry. So let's go into Nandroid Manager, actually, and see what options we have. So once we actually open your File Explorer, I use Solid. Some of you may just use the My Files Explorer from the stock software, but I recommend you find a root-capable one so that you can access your system partition just for if you need to get a file or app out of there that you want to share with a friend. So let's see, there we go, Recovery Tools SPR, and then as you can see, ClockworkMod, Philz, TWRP, and Nandroid Manager. So we're going to, I already have this installed, so let's not do that, but then, as you can see, ClockworkMod for Sprint, Philz, which is universal across all American models of the S3, and then the TWRP for Sprint. So home button, recents, clear them away so it runs quickly, and then scroll down to, once you've installed Nandroid, it will show up in your drawer, right there. So go ahead and open it up, and you'll have to grant root access, and you'll have to have BusyBox installed. So if you don't have BusyBox installed, it will prompt you to go to the Play Store and download Steven Ericsson's BusyBox installer, which is just, once you open it, it auto-update or auto-installs, and it's fine. It's just a couple of small files, and then it makes this work. So you can come back, grant super user, and then come back into here and actually be able to do stuff. So I love Nandroid because you can manage all of your You can manage your backups because I've got, see, you can, so I have a stock version of this one actually. Stock rooted ND8, which is KitKat, so you can rename it, you see what type it is, and you see where it's located, as well as when it was made, size. You can delete it, check the MD5 security thing, and then compress it, among other things, and then you can actually go through and look at all of the things involved in the backup itself. It's really nifty. And then it also is how I flash my recoveries. It allows you to boot into recovery, so you don't have to have a specific app. You don't have to have the TWRP app or the ClockworkMod app, or ROM Manager app, actually. And it tells you what version and what recovery you have, so that's really nice. So for this one, since I just came off of the last video, this will be the version that we had on our phones last time to get SuperUser to work. So TWRP version 2710 or 2710 just makes it easy to say. So say I want ClockworkMod Touch Recovery because I have ClockworkMod backups. So we're going to flash new recovery. Let's zoom in just a teeny bit. Let it focus. There we go. Choose from, I have not done the from Nandroid backup yet, but you probably can pull a backup, or you can pull the specific recovery to be able to restore a backup from a backup, which is nifty. But we'll do from SD card because it's on our storage. So we're going to scroll down to that folder, the recovery tools, for me, SPR. And then, so I want ClockworkMod, and it shows up in purple if it's an image, and you can flash it. So we're going to select it. So it will tell you that's what it is. Recovery type, build date, all of the stuff that you need to know. So we're going to select Flash Recovery. Flashing recovery says the possibility of bricking your device. You should only continue if you know what you're doing. I take no responsibility, the developer, of damage or bricking caused by this process. By hitting continue, you recognize the dangers and have chosen to continue. So if you want to, and I have not encountered a brick with this yet, and I've done my fair share of flashing with this, you can continue. If you don't feel safe doing it, go ahead and use Odin, which I will show you a little bit later. But the quickest way to do ClockworkMod Touch is through Nandroid. So we're going to continue, and it will run the little command for you. It'll go through, completed, and then we have to select Reboot Recovery to reboot into our new recovery. So there we go. We saw the little blue text saying this is booting into recovery. We have the custom recovery logo, and look at that, we have ClockworkMod version 6045. Look at that, and it's touch. There we go. So let's reboot the system, and then say I am done using ClockworkMod for a while. I've been using it for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, and I just want to get some more features out of it, but I don't feel like going to TWRP because I don't like the interface and the way it looks. Say I want Philz on my phone, which would be fitting because I'm Phil. Why not have something by Phil on Phil's phone, right? Don't follow that logic, please. But say I want Phil's recovery on here. Once this boots up, we can do the same process. Oh, white balance and darkness. Lovely. There we go. It's coming back. Let there be light. Indeed. So once this boots up, we can do the same process to flash. If I needed to go back to TWRP to pull a backup, I could do that. Or if I wanted to enhance my ClockworkMod using experience, I could go into Nandroid Manager, scroll over one to Flash New Recovery from SD card, and scroll down to Recovery Files, or Recovery Tools, go into the Philz folder and select the recovery.img. And then it will read the recovery. And then this one is built specifically for KitKat. So this will work on, I recommend using it on KitKat 4.4 and up devices. Specifically for this one, I recommend you use it only on the 4.4.2 versions of the phone. So we're going to flash the recovery, be warned the same way we were last time. Let it flash. It completes, and let's reboot into Philz recovery. So I've been told by a lot of people online especially since I got my 1+1 and the 2 recoveries that exist for it right now are, officially anyway, TWRP and Philz. So this is what Philz look like. It's very, very pretty. And if you don't want to use the volume rocker, you can use the buttons, and they give haptic feedback whenever they get pressed. And this, so scroll down, scroll up, go back, and enter, or like you're tapping on it. So we have the typical reboot. There we go. Reboot, install, wipe data, wipe cache, backup, mount, advanced. And then we also have the special stuff that Philz includes on its own. So get a good look at that, and then, yeah, so that's nice. There's a reroute system option. So if you don't have root after this, you can flash a zip file containing Philz Philz Recovery and reroute the system with Super SU. And then one more, let's go back and go down to power options to see what's inside here. So we can, as per usual, reboot recovery so it starts over, reboot to download mode directly from recovery, which is nice, and then we can just power the device off if we don't feel like managing anything anymore. So that's Philz Recovery. So I want to reboot my system, and we will actually, I think I'm going to go back to TWRP just to show it works, just so we can go full circle. But yeah, so that's how you use an Android Manager to switch between the 3 main recovery forms, or 3 main recovery types. So if this is all you needed, if you just wanted to know how to do it, let the lights being off be your cue to be done with the video. Leave me a comment down below if it was helpful. Give me a thumbs up if I really did help you out and teach you something. And let me know if the reroute system option does in fact work in Philz if you need it. So the next thing to try is there are tar files of the TWRP, which we proved worked last time, but I will flash again just for you guys. And then there's also a tar of Philz. So we're going to flash Philz and TWRP just to make sure and prove that they work. So first we are going to, I'm not going to go to TWRP manually this time. I'm going to let Odin do it with me, /for me. So let's get this all set up, and I'll be right back when I have Odin set up with the file in. Okay, there we go. So we're going to download mode the phone, and then while it's buzzing and setting itself up. No, sorry. I let it go before it was ready to actually go into download mode. Harumph, said the downtrodden root friend. So back to it. Volume down, power, and home. Hold it till the screen shows up, unlike I just did, and then press volume up, and then go ahead and plug it in. And the computer should recognize it. I'll zoom in on Odin here and give it the spotlight. There we go. So as you can see, COM4 added. So we're going to go to PDA, into our file folder, the recovery tools, and then go into TWRP, and then select the Open Recovery TWRP 2710 D2, your specific model number, .tar. And as with the file from the How to Fix Super User, the trick was there's no MD5 to make sure it works, or is to make sure it's secured by. So this one is just a tar file to make it easy to flash if you don't want to do it or can't do it manually. So we're going to click Start, and once it's done, it's going to auto reboot into the system. So I will do this. So it's reset and it's good. So it's rebooting now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop it right there because the recovery has in fact flashed, and then do a manual little trick with volume up, power home to get directly into recovery to make sure it worked. And there we go, blue text. Let's see, custom, okay, so there we go. It loaded up and successfully flashed in Team Win Recovery Project. Open Recovery. Okay, so here we're going to use TWRP to send us back into download mode, but if you don't feel like it and you want to do some stuff on your phone before you go back and try Philz recovery with Odin, feel free to just reboot system and then manually go back into recovery, either by powering it off, pulling the battery, and pushing the buttons, or go into Nandroid Manager and reboot into recovery. Regardless, we're going to close Odin, open the window again just to make sure it gets fresh, or refreshed as it were, and we're going to connect the phone as we did before, and then it will take us back to where we were in the Recovery Tools folder, and then we'll select the Philz folder and select Philz Touch 6.48.4 hyphen year model number, or D2LTE.tar. And then as with the other one, this is not an MD5 file, so this will in fact work without needing to check anything secure. So again, it'll auto reboot into the system, and this failed because I've been having issues with this version of Philz, and I'll try and post up a working tar, but for now, avoid it if you need it, or avoid it. If you need it, use Nandroid Manager to get your Philz fix, because as of right now, I do not believe there is a working tar version. If there is, I will post a correction down in the description and let you guys know. But regardless of whether that works or not, we have successfully rooted, rerouted, fixed root, fixed super user, made sure super user works, installed a custom recovery, switched between custom recoveries, and have access to multiple types of each recovery, as in formats like a tar file or an image. So that's 8 things that you now have and now know how to do. And just let me know down in the comment section if you enjoyed this, if this was helpful. If this was helpful, if this will be helpful to someone else, go ahead and share it. If you liked it, go ahead and let me know, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any further problems with this or the previous video's procedures, let me know in the respective video so I know which features to go over and which to review later. There will be a OnePlus impressions kind of thing, even though I've been using the phone for roughly a week now. I think it's time to do an unboxing, even though it's right here. Yeah, I'm a little bit backwards with the orders of this. But regardless, that will be coming soon, within the next week and a half, if I have any say over it, which I completely do, since it's me. But anyway, I'm Phil. This is a camera. This is an S3. Yours will work just like this, with any recovery you want, with root, with super user access. Have fun.